It's time for Market Explainer, your number one business news podcast. Hosted by Danny and the big man. And it starts right now.
Well, before we do our next story, I want to tell you about workathomstuff.com.
Mm-hmm.
None of you are ever going back to your office, I promise you.
Nor should you.
Yes. You're going to start a side hustle or there's going to be a new strain. Nonetheless, you need stuff to work at home. You need a good desk. You need a good chair. You can get all that stuff, workathomstuff.com. That's my personal website. So
which makes it less important than my personal websites. But go ahead.
But do I own most of the sponsors on our website? I do. So this next story is alarming.
It is not.
Concerning.
No.
And scary.
No. It's actually very intelligent when you consider it for what it is. But go ahead.
TikTok is launching delivery-only restaurants across the U.S. starting in March.
Yes.
Did you know this?
I did not. And my wife and I spend too much time on TikTok, not as much as other people. Like my wife probably is quadruple the amount of time that I spend on. But I do enjoy TikTok.
How do you get anything done?
I don't know. I do enjoy TikTok, and I consider myself a probably just below average TikTok user as far as I keep up with what is big trends on TikTok, right? And Call Me Chris and Old Man Murphy and these big TikTok creators.
Like in the last month, found out who Call Me Chris was. I was enjoying Call Me Chris's content that was stolen and reposted onto Twitter.
So you didn't even find Call Me Chris. You found the knockoff version, which happens constantly on TikTok. Yeah. They take other people's videos, re-up them, and they get people that aren't paying attention because it doesn't say Call Me Chris. It says whatever, but it's there. But anyway, the point is that, and she's a great creator, by the way. Would love to work with her someday. She's amazing.
Okay, don't say that.
The point, though, is in this case, I didn't know this was coming, so when I read the article that Danny sent me, I was actually very surprised from I didn't know this was coming standpoint. Okay. Now, what makes sense about this is TikTok, first of all, this is not TikTok, and they came out in this article and several other articles that I read saying this is not us trying to get into the restaurant business.
Yeah, no, this is... So what's happening here is Grubhub is going to be launching the TikTok Kitchen, which is actually backed and developed by Virtual Dining Concepts, which is a group that goes around and says, hey, are you Mr. Beast? Do you want burgers? Here you go.
Right. You and I have talked about them previously when we talked about ghost restaurants and ghost kitchens and their potential for popularity moving forward, which I think this is that whole point.
Yes,
is marketing. Right?
Yeah, we told you about ghost kitchens last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was it or the beginning of this year? Nonetheless, the point is, in a very short order, this is what it's turning into, which is good.
Well, because instead of being, okay, hey, we're going to try to compete directly with Chili's and Chewy's and these big restaurants, our job is to go out and say, hey, do this. In this case, TikTok signed on to do this for about a year, give or take. I'm sure they have some outs there, but TikTok's looking at it from a marketing standpoint. We can partner with virtual, ghost restaurants, partner with Grubhub, so we get those two names to come in. We can do some co-marketing and stuff like that.
Correct.
And then we start taking and one of the most viral things on TikToks are recipes because it's visual, right?
Right.
You can sit there and watch somebody in 60 seconds make a chocolate pie or make your favorite dish.
So what's very smart is, I don't know how this is going to work, but right now their menu consists of viral dishes. So baked feta pasta, which I've actually seen that TikTok before. Smash burger. Smash burgers. I've never actually seen that TikTok. Corn ribs. I don't know what that is. I'm curious.
Corn ribs and pasta chips, yes.
All of these things are going to be fascinating. But what's interesting about this is one of those things where the more I learn about business, and I've been an entrepreneur for well over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
A moderately failed one at that, but the more this show has caused me to go deeper and deeper into business. The more I learned, there's wild, and before the show started, Big Man and I were talking about how the reason the wealthy get wealthier is simply because they're not finding you, Joe Schmo, some schmuck who works construction, or Sally that works at Starbucks. They're not good. No one's showing up to you to say, hey, do you want to make $10 million? Because you don't have the wherewithal, the resources, or the track record to be that person. Yet you can be that person, but you have to go and make those opportunities. Those
Right.
opportunities don't come to you. The polarity of those opportunities switches when you have money. They come to you versus you going out and making them.
Absolutely.
What's fascinating about this is what I see happening is if you're a TikTok chef, they're going to say come up with the call me Chris burger, whatever, and the TikTok restaurant or whatever what is this going to be called, the TikTok whatever, is going to go out there and they're going to publish it and they're going to make them across all these restaurants and give you a little cut.
Yeah, TikTok Kitchen.
Yeah, right, TikTok Kitchen. Here's the other thing. There's how many apps to deliver food.
Yeah.
There's Uber Eats. There's Postmates. There's like 4 other ones that I can't even remember.
Well, but that doesn't even count your local ones. Every local big city, we have, even here in Cedar Park in Northwest Austin, we have a couple of locally owned that only do Cedar Park, Round Rock, in this immediate area that make a crap ton of money, and they're not an Uber Eats. They're not a whatever. Right. They grow, and they're delivery apps. But here's the thing. Danny alluded to it, I think, also in that mindset of money and generating money. TikTok has done something that a lot of companies don't in this announcement.
Let me just, hold on. Let me
Go
just
ahead. Finish your thought.
So the only thing I was trying to say was, Grubhub now gets the exclusive TikTok kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And virtual dining concept gets to attach itself to this big brand like TikTok.
Absolutely.
So if you're someone who owns a restaurant, you're going to think, well, I have to go to virtual dining concepts. I have to go to Grubhub. Not realizing that there's 1,000 different ghost kitchen companies now, right? And there's a bunch of different delivery apps, but these are exclusive agreements that attach them. So TikTok has to do very little. They have to do very little to roll out a national chain of delivery-only restaurants. They have to do very little, but they get to reap all the rewards.
And you think Grubhub's not going to put that on page 1 of their app?
Of course.
You think Virtual Design's not going to put Design Kitchen's not going to put that on the front page of their website? Absolutely, they're leveraging this for each other. But here's the deal. So TikTok, for virtually nothing as far as risk, right, is turning around, partnering with 2 companies, as you said, but also in the same time, and they didn't have to do this, but they're doing it anyway, are telling its TikTok users, the people that create this information, that a portion of these profits are going to go into what they call the TikTok Designers Fund. That's what pays TikTok users, right?
You think TikTok Creators Fund, I think is what you're talking about.
Is Creators Fund, right. So they've come out and said, hey, we want you to continue to create this because we're going to share some of this revenue with you to the fund so that you can get credit, and they're going to give these people credit. So so these users out there, because my first thought before I got to that portion of the story was, why would these people come out with these recipes for you to turn around and steal them or whatever? And TikTok is just saying, hey, there's enough money to go around, which I really believe in business. There's enough money to go around.
That's true.
We're going to take whatever. They didn't disclose what percentage, right? But they didn't disclose what. But we're going to take 20%, 20 cents of every dollar we make. We're going to stick it in the fund so that you can be paid. We're going to put your name on, whatever. And already you've got major names. Gordon Ramsay is on TikTok. He even takes the time to duet other people's recipes.
Right.
Like, people will make certain things, and you've got Gordon Ramsay going, don't do that. Don't do that. That's awful.
I've watched those. That's great.
But, so you've already got some of these big name people on there, but some of my favorite TikTok recipes are these people that come up with these user-friendly spins on traditional recipes that you go, oh my God, I wish I'd have thought of that.
So my favorite TikTok recipes are the ones that are from prison. Like, No, I don't know if there's YouTube videos of guys who get out and
Yes.
they go, well, in prison we get these chips from commissary, and whatever I know about prison, I know from television, and I was fully exposed on the 7th episode of what is now called Market Explainer, our podcast, when we had our guest Matt Cox on, and I
Yes.
said all sorts of weird prison stuff or jail talk, and he's like, no, that's wrong. What
That's
you
wrong.
just said is
That's wrong.
incorrect.
That's incorrect.
He's like, no, up the river is state. I'm a federal. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You were in the federal penitentiary.
I wish I could, off the top of my head, I'll have to put the link in it down below, but there's a TikTok guy that his whole shtick on TikTok is to take things like that. Most of them are prison recipes, right?
Yes.
Done by previous prisoners, and he duets them and then tries it himself.
Right.
And he's a comedian by trade.
Yeah.
So he tries it himself, makes it funny as he's doing it, right? You know what I mean? It makes it funny. But then tries it and then tastes it and gives his opinion on it. That's his entire channel.
So this is going to be an official call out to Andrew, I think his name's Andrew Ray, of Binging with Babish. Go find these TikToks of people making prison food.
Yes.
Okay? And some of them are people currently in a penitentiary. I don't know how they got a phone. That goes up your prison purse. And because what Binging with Babish does on YouTube is he goes and he says, hey, here's a recipe from a TV show. Now I'm going to elevate I'm going to make the recipe even better because it looks cool on a TV show, but when you actually taste it, it doesn't taste good. Here's how I would make it better. So I want to see what he will do with prison recipes from TikTok.
Well, if you are watching this from prison and you want to see these TikToks, in January or February, I believe, it came out this week that TikTok is making a specific desktop version of TikTok, which will be available in January, February.
Specific prison TikTok.
No,
I was like,
no. That would be awesome, though, Prison Talk. But they're making a desktop version specifically of that will work very similar to the app version right now, which is its main thing. But they're making a desktop version.
Which, hey, Meta, can I get a desktop Instagram, please?
Well, again, that's a whole different story. But TikTok coming out and saying, hey, there are people that only want to access this product.
Yeah.
And guess what? That opens up a completely different version of users, right? And advertising opportunities. Doing it on desktop. TikTok has acknowledged that, and they're releasing it in January or February. I forget the exact timeline, but soon.
Yeah, but let me just say in closing with this story, I think this is brilliant on TikTok's part because they're going to take something that is viral on their platform, and anytime you can pop, and I look at it this way, anything you can take anytime you can take something from the metaverse to the metaverse, to the meatverse, to the meat space. Yes. That crossover is brilliant.
Imagine if this, let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say this works really well. Right. Let's just say it works really well, right?
Which I think it's going to.
TikTok is looking at this as a marketing expense, but let's say it makes money. It's a marketing expense that makes money, right?
Yeah.
What else could they do this with?
Correct.
They could partnership this with all kinds of different things. Take viral videos of whatever
and turn them into NFTs.
Real products. Real products, right? And this is, look, only individuals right now are leveraging things like
merchandising
and stuff like that, links, right? And what do you call it when you have a link to like we do with all the links that we have, affiliate links and stuff like that. Imagine if TikTok.
You're such an old person.
I just can't remember the words sometimes when they're coming out of my mouth. The point, though, is imagine if TikTok, as a business model, made that simpler for its users, for its creators, right? Here, this is automatically set up. Just check a box on the affiliates that you want as part of yours. We're going to take a chunk, you're going to take a chunk, and it's all good. It's all good.
Right.
These are all things that can easily turn out marketing-wise for TikTok that end up making them and their creators more money. Yeah. And that's the share model, right? YouTube has been doing it forever. I still, to me, the life of me can't figure out why Facebook doesn't understand this model. Why does Facebook and Meta not understand that if you share your revenue with your users that create your entire business model, that it makes money.
Well, they do understand it, but they only let the kind of higher end people do it. They don't let schmucks like you and I do it.
But only working with that group of people leads to the non-expansion. How did YouTube become YouTube? They let everybody share them up, right? TikTok, same thing. Everybody can create. Anybody can create. All TikTok did is create a user-friendly video editing platform.
That's all it is.
Yeah. That's all it is, right? And they make that more and more friendly, and they update it and update it and update it. That's the point. So,
and all it costs is your soul and all of your privacy. No big deal.
Okay, so Danny's back on being, the anarchist that Danny is. Anyway, so that's our show, Danny. So we always end our show on some unique knowledge from you. So what is your...
So we end always every week on tip of the week.
Sure.
So tip of the week this week is holding a grudge against your enemy is like drinking poison and hoping that your enemy is injured by that. So the lesson is don't poison yourself. And I can't finish the rest of the sentence.
See, I thought, wow, Danny's delivering some knowledge today, and then you completely ruined it. So great,
don't
Danny.
Poison yourself.
I'm going to quit this show. All right, folks.
You can't. Okay.
We'll see you next time.